Hey, good morning. Happy Monday to you. I pray that you are off to an amazing start to your work week. This is your girl, Coach O, founder and CEO of Action Speaks Volume Incorporated, known as your procrastination strategist, behavior change expert, where I help you to build unshakable confidence, stop procrastinating, and you got it. Get your dream out of your head into your life. It doesn't have to be just pillow talk. It doesn't have to be just a big wish and a hope and a dream. It can truly be your reality. It can be your reality if you will believe. Because see, when you believe, you will take the actions necessary to make it happen. You're not just going to conjure up something, out of the skies. It's not just going to fall down and say, oops, here I am. No, it requires work. It requires effort. It requires consistency. It requires determination. Good morning, Shanti. Thank you so much for joining. But I come here to tell you this morning that it ain't over. It is not over. Some of us has already thrown in the towel. It's not over. It is not over. You may feel like you're having to start from point A, or you're having to start over. Good morning, Regina. Thank you so much for joining. But the thing about starting over, you got more than you started with. Can I say that again? Do you know the thing about starting over? You have more than you started with. When you have to do a thing over, you bring over with some experiences. You bring over some of the things that you experience that will cause you to start over. So you're not really starting at square one, but you may be starting over from a new point of interest. So don't be discouraged. I want you to know it's not over. Some of you have already written it off. Some of you have already thrown in the towel. You have already given up. You've already put a word on it to say that it's not going to work. It's not possible. You don't know what you're going to do. Don't worry about it. When we truly give things over to God, God always make a way. He always work it out. There are some things that we need to just say, I'm going to take myself out of it, because when we try to do things on our own accord, when we try to do things in our own way, in our own timing, we know that our timing is not his timing. Our ways are not his ways. So a lot of time it doesn't work. But you got to know that it's not over. It is not over. You don't have to, sometimes we may have to go down a different path. But sometimes the path. Good morning, Dora. Thank you so much for joining. Praying for you and your loss. I pray that God will give you strength in this season of bereavement. Praying for you and the family. Amen. But we have to know that, sometimes our paths may change. But we can't look at it as we're starting over or it's all over, that there is no hope, because there is always hope for an about change, for us to go in a different direction, for us to get where we were going, or to someplace better. One of the things that we think about in our dream building group is, give me this or something better. Give me this or something better. So when we think about, I am so happy and I'm grateful for what I have, or something better. See, we have to stop thinking that where we are is the final destination of where we're going. This may be just a resting place. Sometimes we may have to start over, but we go with something that we have. We have more tools in our toolbox. We're not starting with an empty toolbox. We have more drive. We have more drive, and we have more commitment, because we already know what not to do in a lot of cases. See, the thing about lessons, all the time you may not pass the first test. You may not. But you learn along the way. And when you learn along the way, you take the things that you learn and you embrace those things, and you continue to add to those things week after week and month after month and year after year. So you don't have to, start all the way over, but you may be starting from a different point. You hear me? You may be starting from a different point. Good morning, Patanya. Thank you so much for joining. You may be starting from a different point in your life. So don't be discouraged if you feel like, you're having to not necessarily backtrack. But I want you to know, if you have to go another direction, don't be discouraged. Don't be disheartened. Don't be disappointed. But just take the lesson and leave the pain. Take the lesson and go the new direction and do what you have to do. And sometimes we'll find that the thing that we had to detour to get, that it was better than the thing that we was going straight to. Come on now, somebody. You got to say that, give me this or something better. Give me this or something better. That I'm so grateful and I am so happy and grateful that I have this or something better. And I am going to take whatever lessons that I learned along the way and take it to this new path. So I want you to know that whatever lessons that you have learned, prior to COVID-19, during COVID-19, I want you to take the lesson that, when we're not going to be over. It's not over. It's not over. COVID-19 is not over, but we can maneuver our way through during COVID-19. There are some precautions that we can take. There are some things that we can do. There are some lessons that we can learn, but we don't have to lay dormant and feel like, it's over and all hope is gone, that, nothing is going to work and that it's the end of us, because this is just the beginning. How many of you know that this is just the beginning? It's just the beginning. So you don't have to be discouraged. You don't have to be disappointed. You don't have to feel like that you have, good morning, Princess, thank you so much for joining. You don't have to feel like you are at your wit's end, because this is just the beginning. It's not over. It is not over. It is not over. We know that we have been through a lot of changes, and the changes are not over. The differences are not over, but we have more than what we started with. We have more tools in our toolbox. We have more wisdom. We have more wisdom. We have more patience. We have more patience. And when you have wisdom, and when you have patience, and when you have more people, see, some of us have more people on this side of COVID than we did when we went into COVID, because we have been able to establish new relationships. We have been able to even prune ourselves from some relationships that was draining, relationship that was pulling and never giving. See, we have to be in relationship that have reciprocity. You give a little bit and then you take a little bit. You put in a little bit and you get a little bit out. You need to be around people that will support you in the directions that you're going, in the positions that you're holding, in the things that you have been assigned to do. So we want to make sure that we realize it ain't over. It is just starting. This thing is just starting. Your life, even in the prime of your years, in your 40s, your 50s, your late 30s, your early 60s, your mid 70s, it's not over. Because guess what? It is not over. Yes, I have more people than I had before. Genuine people. Absolutely. Because see, sometimes we think we're losing something when we're gaining something. As beautiful as a rose is, you have to prune some of them for the best of your roses to be able to blossom to their fullest potential. Sometimes you have to lose people that you thought was going to be with you. Sometimes you have to prune people, and so you would have room enough to develop, so you would have room enough to grow. Because when you got negative plants in place, when you have negative plants, or when you have some that look kind of good but they are not ready to go to the full potential, you got to get them out of the way. Sometimes you have people in your ear that's not ready. They're not ready to develop in their full potential. They're not ready. Their mindsets are not ready. Their commitment is not ready. Their dedication is not ready. A lot of us, we start a thing but we don't finish a thing. We start a thing but we won't stick with a thing. Come on now, somebody. Good morning, Robert. Thank you so much for joining Project 400 in the house. You got to get to a point that when I start something that I'm going to stay with it until I finish. You got to have it said, I'm going to hold on to you until you bless me. See, we will start a thing and when we don't see progress right away, we'll quit. But you got to know that every day that you're putting a step toward the right direction, you're closer and you're closer. Good morning, Belinda. Thank you so much for joining. Every day that you're taking a step in the direction that you're wanting to go, that you are closer and closer every day. Good morning, Margaret. Thank you so much for joining. You have to know that every day that you take a step in the direction that you are wanting to go, that you're closer than the day before. It is not over. It is not over. It is not over for you. It is not over for you. This is just the beginning. And you got to be with people that is going to be connected with you in your believing. You got to be with people that will be connected to you in your believing. You don't need people to tell you it's not possible. You don't need people to tell you that it's too big. See, sometimes you have to talk to people that just to tell you, it's possible. Now, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you're going to do it, but that thing is possible. Because see, you can believe that it's possible because the word tells us that there is nothing impossible for the Lord. See, it may be impossible for me because I'm limited, but he don't have any limits. How many of you know that he have a source that we can tap from that have no bottom? It has no width. It has no length. This thing is limitless. It have no limits. And so when you can go and go and go, you can go really wide and you can go really deep and you can go really long and you can go really high and you still don't find, you don't see no boundaries. No boundaries to the left or to the right. You don't have no boundaries come on now. You have to have the language of faith. You have to have it. You have to have it. You have to believe that it's possible. Even when you don't see it, when they thinking you're crazy, when people think, people with, I don't know why you're doing that. I don't know why, people tell you it don't take all that. People will tell you it don't take that. It don't take all that. You're spending too much time into this, into that. But see, they're not the one they're not the ones that's cutting your check. You put your time in because your payday, it is coming after a while. And your payday is coming down from on high. Your payday is raining down from heaven. When you think about your work is not unto man, but it's unto God. So you have to know that it is not over. It doesn't matter what it look like, sound like. You're going to have to stop looking at what you see out of your physical eyes, and you're going to have to believe what he said. Come on now, somebody. Faith is the key. And I always say, I'm one that have stupid, crazy, ridiculous faith. I'm one that exercise faith. I'm one that's going to stretch faith. I'm one that's going to walk on faith. I'm one that talks faith. See, you got to know that you have the tools that you need in your box. When you have the tools that you need in your box, you can get the job done. You don't have to go back and pick up nothing. You don't have to go and get nothing. You have the tools that you need in you. So therefore, when the job need to be done, you already have all of your supplies in your toolbox. And so I want you to be encouraged. I want you to know that it's not over. You may have been going through some things, encountering some things, experiencing some things, but I want you to know that when you take on big assignments and when you take on leadership assignments and when you take on assignments where you are responsible for other people, when you take on the assignment that you're responsible for yourself, when you say that I am going to do this thing, I'm telling you. So listen, today is July the 13th. When you say yes, the enemy gonna say no. So I want you to remember this message, and I want you to encourage yourself in the midst of the madness, because it's going to come and you're going to feel like you wasn't going through this thing before you did this thing. But just on the other side of that is your victory. Just on the other side of that is your victory. So don't be discouraged. Don't think that it's overwhelming. Just breathe and take it one day at a time. Take it one step at a time. Take it one assignment at a time. Do one thing. Don't worry about trying to do everything, trying to be everybody, trying to be everything to everybody and doing everything at the same time, because you will truly fail. But if you say, I'm going to take this thing and I'm going to use the steps that God has given me, victory will be right on the other side. It doesn't matter about what people are saying. It don't matter about them thinking how slow you're moving. It doesn't matter about them thinking which direction that you need to go in. You follow the voice of the Lord. You follow the steps of the Lord, and you will be all right. It is not over. It is not over. It is not over. Get connected with some people that are genuine. Get connected with some people that is connected to the source. And if you don't have it right now, get connected with some people that do. You may not believe that you're going to come out your situation. Get with some people, some partners that will partner with you in believing that it's going to be all right, in believing that it's not over, in believing that every need shall be provided, in believing that everything that you need, that you already have it. You need to be with some people to say it's possible. It's possible. It is possible. You need to be with some people to say that it is possible. Look, I'm getting ready to get out of here. If you have not registered for the workshop on this Saturday, it's only $17. The 3 Ds that made a difference. You want to be registered. 3 Ds that made a difference. You want to be registered for that. Super excited about that. It is this Saturday and it's only $17. And if you are looking to be a part of the Empowering 8 Inner Circle, we are kicking off the first Thursday in August. Be ready. Go ahead and lock in your spot, because we only have 8 spots and there's only 5 left. 5 spots left. So go ahead, lock in your spot, because we're going to be ready to rock and roll. We will be empowering, inspiring, motivating, and we're going to be getting things done. This is the season for us to tap into the gifts that God has given us, unwrap them, get them out, brush them off, and use them. Look, if you're new to me, this is your girl, Coach O, founder and CEO of Action Speaks Volume Incorporated, known as your procrastination strategist, behavior change expert, where I help you to build unshakable confidence, stop procrastinating, and to get your dreams out of your head into your life. Yes, I have your registration, princess. I have your registration, Sister Shanti. And this is not just a woman thing. Robert would love to see you on the 3 Ds that made a difference workshop. Join us. The flyer has been posted. I would also put it here, but share this out, invite someone. And if you know someone that can't afford to come, pay it forward. You know, we are blessed when we pay it forward. If you want to be a part of the Empowering 8, you can contact me here or in the inbox and register for the workshop. Super excited, and I pray that you have a super, super, super amazing day. God bless you.